week off. We thought it was great.
Yeah.
It's like, unfortunately though, they assigned us several teachers to go with us, so we didn't get to have as much fun as we thought we were gonna have.
When I was a volunteer.
A little bit more like work for some of them.
Unfortunately, though.
Yeah, when I was a volunteer in high school,
Yeah,
Falmouth used to, the Public Works Department used to
Yeah.
plow out every hydrant.
yeah.
Well, why don't we get started with the new business? If the, sir, are you here for the,
Yeah, I am here for an appeal, yeah.
okay. Why don't you go ahead and tell
Sure.
us anything about,
If you like to get up on the
Yeah.
podium.
you'll come on up here or whatever you.
Yeah.
want to do.
Sure, wherever you like,
Yeah,
would like me to be.
bring it
It might be easier because I have some additional paperwork I could show you that could be helpful.
Okay,
I try to be as detailed as I could. I did have several other pictures that might be helpful as far as some of the other material that I've given you a little bit better view of the property from above and more representative of what I'm requesting. A little more explanation. So the lot itself, it's where's the last page? It's a larger. All right, we'll blow up with the subdivision plan that had this, so that might be also, pardon me, useful to you. This had been drawn before, this is not an actual as-built, before the property had been constructed. So it's not the actual exact location of where this building is. There is no building here right now. That would have been what I'm looking for the garage to build as a garage. This is the existing home, and it is an accurate representation of his footprint, but as far as its location to the setback line, which is shown here, the 30 feet, it's a little closer. It's 42 feet from the corner of the building to this 30-foot setback line. So the envelope for the property and the topography of it, down gradient, downhill quite a bit. So from the beginning to the back of the building, it's probably almost a 8-foot drop, you know, maybe 9 feet from up in this area, the parking lot area is down to here. So there's a lot of cut and fill that had to be done when I built the house. As a result of it too, I had what isn't shown on this, but I had shown on one of the hand drawings is I do have a small cabin on the property that we had built originally to live in while I built the house because I was the carpenter basically. So as a result of locating that there, I shifted the building somewhat more to the left to this direction, to the line that I'm discussing with you this evening, for grade, basically, so I wouldn't have real high pitch grade and easier to maintain without runoff. So as a result of that and the tight envelope, it's kind of difficult for me to find a place to place the building. My utilities come in underground to the building from this area. And then if I was to try and place the garage up there, then I've got my utilities in the way, you know? So I had limited options as far as where I could run my utilities as well. It's like I said, it's kind of a tight triangle when you do the setback for the shoreland and then in there, so. But I don't know specifically what the rules are on, you know, reduction of setback as far as what's allowance. I don't need a lot. I'm looking to reduce it to 15 feet from 30 feet. As far as other homes are concerned, the two nearest homes to me, my neighbors at the end here, there's another home over here on the lot there. They're almost a football field away, like 300 feet, and it's well wooded and fills in nice in, you know, the warmer weather. And the same for over here. There's another home over here And that home itself is also almost a football field wide, close to 300 feet. So I don't have anybody tied up on me. This side of the property here also has a natural ravine that drains down to the bay or to the river. And you know, not a lot of room there. As far as if anybody were gonna up to the lot line, say the neighbor abutting, there really wouldn't be any buildable area there for them. So it would be like we'd have a pigeonhole effect where we're looking right at each other. So and that's about it what I'm looking for. The only thing I may not have reflected on the drawing was I kind of left it out. I'm looking to build about a 30 by 30 garage, but I did want to add like a 10-foot lean-to on one side to put equipment. I have a boat, also tractor and other things. And I was going to kind of have it wrap around. I don't know if that matters much to you as far as the dimension of the building, but realistically, where I want to put it, I'm only going to wind up with like, say if this were the building and I was going to reduce it to 15 feet, I'd be kind of like the 30-foot mark would kind of like run that way across the back of the building, like at an egg, you know, so. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a quorum. I just wanted to announce that. Quorum is 3 required under the ordinance. You know, we've got really limited authority.
Yeah,
I think we have jurisdiction to hear your request for a variance,
yeah,
but we can't modify the terms of the ordinance.
Mhm.
I mean, we can't, the variance doesn't mean it's different from the that we can change the ordinance. It means
Right.
within the ordinance, if the ordinance gives you some room to do some of this stuff, then we can look and see if it's complying with the
Mhm.
ordinance. So my problem here is, and when you made the application, you saw the requirement.
yeah, I was
That-
kind of
that you're not-
surprised at
that
how
you're not-
many that there were, yeah,
Yeah, so there's a lot of them, but and you have to meet each one,
yeah,
right, to get. So I'm sitting here, you said in your application, and we can plainly see
hmm,
that the property's in the shoreland zone.
okay,
So that variance you're looking for isn't the one that we can't give you a variance because you don't meet that requirement that no portion of the property be in the shoreland
if-
zone.
so if the property is within the shoreland zone, you can't even apply for a variance?
Not this variance that you applied for.
Well, see, the thing was, when I asked for the paperwork, the original paperwork that was there, and that was my question, said at the number 8, not in shoreland zone, which I found puzzling because I was like under the impression that I could make an appeal for a variance regardless of what the zoning was, you know. And I thought it was the wrong form, so I came back in and Mark had said, oh, no, this is the form you fill out, you know, for that.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, it says not in shoreland zone. So I thought maybe what it meant was the actual work to be conducted
right.
was within the buffer zone, something to that effect. So is it a matter of I've got the wrong form or?
You've got the wrong variance. You might want to take a look and maybe talk with the town about, is there some other, we can't tell you. But there may be other variances. There's all kinds of in there. You know,
Well,
like a
I'm-
handicap variance, there's this and that,
Yeah,
and there may be another one in there that you could fit if you take a look at it.
so you are unable to grant any variances on any property that's located within the shoreline zone. Is that what you're telling me?
Under this, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
But I'm
okay,
saying under this section, under this variance, as I say, there are multiple kinds of variances. Under the one you put in,
okay,
you can't do it. But you might see if any of the other ones fit. Okay, because you might be able to work into some of those other ones. And you may not be able to do exactly what you want
right.
under it, but you might get close and you might find that it's okay. So take a look at and talk to others about, you know, what's the right variance that you might be able to use here. I live in the shoreland zone too, so I
yeah.
can't use this particular variance to get, you know.
I guess my question would be, have you had people come to you that have properties within the shoreline zone that are looking for a reduction in setback? ever.
I'm trying to. You know, you might be able to find out through the records. I don't recall offhand.
I mean, actually, so the form that I have isn't even the proper form that's been filled out.
That's right.
Well, I questioned that the day that I picked up the form, and then I was told, no, this is the form.
This is one of the.
So is there a form that says shoreland areas?
There's one, there are variances that allow, that if you meet the conditions. You can do, even if you can request, even if you're in the shoreland zone. Okay, so they don't.
It would
have-
still come to you,
Yeah,
essentially, as the
still
Board of
correct.
Appeals, correct?
That's right.
All right, so Mike, I'm still somewhat confused because I don't,
You wouldn't use this form. You would use one that you would apply under the
Well,
other variance.
what is the other form? Is there something we have available that I could see? Is
I
it?
don't think there's another
so-
form. I think.
So this is the form I was given because there wasn't another form.
Okay, maybe, I don't know.
No, I mean, not maybe. We discussed it and I asked him about it specifically that day. I don't know if you recall, Mark, but
Yeah, no.
yeah,
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. The
What's
only
the
thing that I
question?
saw, well, in the land use ordinance, she was wondering what it says as far as variances. I only came up with the two.
Which two?
Which are the variances for administrative appeals. And then what was the other style? Oh, what is it?
No, so you've got variances under 531. Right, undue hardship. Then if you go down the ordinance. You've got floodplain management, you've got there's a handicap one in there.
I guess it would fall under undue hardship, particularly,
might
yeah,
just check
possibly,
it.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't, just check that one, but there is also a single family dwelling setback variance, okay? And you might be able to fit into that. And that's, let's see where that one is. Floodplain. Yeah, here, hang on, here it is. Yeah, 533 is a variance from setback standards for single-family dwellings.
Okay,
So if, you know, that you might go over that one and see if you can live with that, with the requirements that they have. And then, you know, if that's the case, then you can come back and we can take a look at it.
right,
Okay?
okay. It seems kind of confusing to me. I think it was fairly, the only thing, like I said, the only thing that was kind of confusing on this form, I mean, so what form do I fill out?
There isn't, you make, they put this one together to help people for this particular variance, and so I don't believe the town has different forms. So you just have to go through the 5.3, what did I say, it was 5.3.3? Yeah, 5.3.3 requirements and see if you can meet those, and just, you know, write us a letter or whatever. And see if you can, showing that you can meet, you know, its unique circumstances, essential character, action taken by the application, abutting property.
Well, essentially what I did was I did write a narrative in the package
Yes.
and explain the different things, like, permitted use, the
Yep.
garages allowed, economic injury would cost me quite a bit more. I explained that. Unique circumstances, the limited building envelope and relocation of the structure. Other parts of the property isn't practical. I mean, I'd be in the same situation if I tried to move the garage further up in front of the house.
So so what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and what you're saying is, you've done some of the work already that might be useful if you come to us again and ask for a variance under 5.3.3. Okay, so
So I gotta find a specific part of the land use ordinance
That's right.
to cite
that's right.
under 533.
Fine. Take a look at 5.3.3 and see if you can.
Well, I would basically be resubmitting the same thing that I've given you tonight, I would imagine.
It's a little different,
it?
otherwise we would take.
Okay,
take it out.
all right. All right, I'll take a look at it and then I could just,
And it doesn't have,
Resubmit
it
it.
doesn't have the shoreland zoning issue,
okay.
okay? So it's close to what you have, it's a little different. in
Okay.
Some areas, yeah.
So there's no separate form. Now, would it all be part of the same application fee that I already paid for the hearing?
It's up to the town, whatever. they
Okay.
want.
So basically, we just have another hearing under that and
Yep.
like this didn't happen almost. This is just okay. I think we could do that. Not a problem. Yeah, I'll take a look at the land use ordinance. I imagine it's online and I can read up on it or something,
It's
yeah.
online,
So I need to look at 5.533.
533.
Okay. 5.
Just, I don't know if it's got similar but different requirements, but it does not have the restriction on shoreline zone.
I think I might have, excuse me, I might have read that earlier today.
Okay.
That particular section. I was actually looking at it on the computer a little bit
Yeah.
and I did see
It's a little different. than-
gloss through that section, but to me, you know,
You were just using the form.
an appeal is an appeal to me, I wasn't familiar with the process, so, okay. So I would have to get put on for another meeting for the next month then probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is that something we could do now or,
What?
yeah,
Same with us.
yeah, then I'll come back next month and you just let me know. Is it usually the same night each month or whatever, or? Okay, okay. Yeah, same time.
Yeah,
Okay, I can come in March 19th then.
if you could fit,
Yeah, I think
because
so.
you won't be able to do exactly what you're saying, but take a look at it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I might,
Because
yeah,
it's-
I'll take a look at it, but yeah, right. I'm assuming that,
Not necessarily separate building. It might have to be connected to the house somehow. Maybe that's still okay, but I'm just throwing this out. You take a look at it. Talk with these guys, see what.
yeah, I'll have to take a look and
Yeah,
read the land use thing. It's, I have to tell you, it's kind of clear as mud.
well.
I mean, I have read it and it is, and honestly, for a process, it's sort of like
Yeah.
a little disappointing.
That's what we have, the third Thursday of every month, like, okay, let's wade through this.
Yeah.
It's very hard, yeah.
No,
it's not
it
easy.
is.
And
yeah,
they said it, the state puts limits on what the town can do.
Right,
The state says, makes it very clear, granting variances is an exception, not
Right.
a given. And you have to meet every single thing, and these are cases.
state is setting the criteria for that?
Yes.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so the town can't vary. They can't conflict with the state. If the state doesn't cover an area, maybe the town can a little bit, but
Mm.
it's the state and then the town,
right,
in this case.
Mm.
So,
interesting.
yeah,
Well, I'll take a look at it and like I said, we'll come back March 19th and see what we can do under that other section, but I'll have to read through it and.
Yeah.
And
Give me a call on Monday if you need him.
yeah, I might need a little bit of hand figuring out what the next
yeah.
Yeah, because
step should be, so.
Get better educated.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to waste anybody's time either if it's an appeal that's got no chance of happening. I mean, I'm not gonna,
Yeah, or yours.
Right.
Costs you money to do all
Right.
this.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at it.
Alright,
Very good.
See you next month.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
If you could. Clear the fact and try to educate me. So under 5.3, where it talks about variances. If I'm understanding things right, the different types of variances that people can apply for would be 5.3.1, undue hardship. 5.3.2, which is a variation of dimensional standards. So that one has the clause in there that says not as far as that. And then you've got 5.3.3 that we just talked about.
Right.
And then 5.3.4, which is variances for flood zone management.
Yeah, and there's a
So-
disability variance also that's in there.
Yes, yeah, that's right, 5.5.
Yeah.
5.3.5, yes. So I'm in the process of redoing a bunch of our forms.
Yeah,
In the process of redoing the appeals form, should we be creating a form with a checkbox that checks what it is, what
Yes.
section they're appealing under?
yeah,
Is there anything else that we can do as far as forms that would?
yeah, did you have any other questions?
No,
Okay.
but like I said, the thing was very confusing is it says type of application at the top and I checked setback requirements.
Right.
Pretty straightforward for me there. I mean,
This is not, this.
it's all
is-
contained within one land use ordinance, so I was kind of surprised to hear that,
Yeah,
wrong form or can't have, I'm still confused a little bit by it,
so
yeah.
we can work on those form so that they can, because it's, you know, when we do the decision, we have to write all this stuff all out again when it's already, if we can get the initial application,
Right,
then people can see, you know, I gotta have this, you know, and just
Yeah.
like you saw that, but you said, well, maybe it's just if the building's gonna be in the shoreline zone, I get it, but
Right.
no, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, the building's gonna be obviously outside of the setback,
Right.
to, you know, to the shoreline.
Yeah.
I know that's a absolute no-go for anybody
Yeah.
anywhere, so, yeah.
So, but yeah, so we can go, you know, this would be one to maybe work on next,
yeah,
okay? I mean, a lot of people don't have the shoreland issue, but some do, as we have here.
right.
I might look at undue hardship because I don't know I'd have to read up on what they use for qualifications,
at that.
but
I
if
think
part of it
undue
is
hardship-
financial, I mean, I can tell you that would be fairly easy to
Yeah,
demonstrate.
take a look
Yeah,
at those,
sure,
you know, talk with Mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a call on Monday,
Yeah, sounds good.
talk about it. Thanks, Mark.
Great,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You have a great evening.
You too.
So yeah, by
So I think-
modifying the form accordingly.
Yeah,
We could also include a section in there that basically says that, you know, if you're checking this, you're basically, you know, doing. Like, for instance, the unique hardship, you know, okay, you know, you have to meet the qualifications for 5.3.1.1 through 5.3.1.4. And then everybody will know,
yeah,
even if it was a separate form to guide them.
right.
as far
No,
as
that
what
would
they
be
need.
really helpful for people.
Yeah.
Really, because they come in and then we've got this, you know, 100-page land use ordinance.
Right,
And and they haven't even read it, and at least it would be nice if they could, and it would be useful I mean, it would have been nice to let him know ahead of time,
right,
but we couldn't go through that because we don't have a process yet, and this is something else you might think about, the town might think about. As a board, we do have the right to review the application before they come in, before the hearing is set, and say, you're missing this.
Yep.
Or you didn't answer that.
Yeah.
And we haven't ever done that as a board, but I think that would be great, and it would help some of the, like this situation.
yeah,
Maybe that's so that would be good. So you're gonna do a form for this particular one that I brought up. I'm not sure it's gonna fit him, but it's something.
right.
I think we handed the same form to Friendship Road. we should
So we'll get in touch with her.
double
That's
check.
next month.
Double check that she's not in the shoreline. zone.
Right.
We should double check that we gave her the right form.
Let me ask the question that. If their project is not in the shoreline zone, then it does not apply. It has to be the project or what they're talking about is within the shoreline zone, correct?
Yeah, if the project is on property, any piece of which is in the shoreline zone.
Okay,
Then they're not gonna be able to get this variance.
so even if they were 500 feet, their project is 500 feet, which is well outside of the shoreline zone, it
Right.
still is.
If their
within
whole
that.
property on which the project is being built is in the shoreline zone, then they can't have this variance.
Okay, that's another really good information.
It might be helpful just to have one form and have a check off
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
under which, you know,
Oh, and lay each
yeah,
each
Well, what I'll
section
do is I
out.
will do a supplement, you know, like on the back of the form,
Yeah,
I'm going to list out all the, so if you have checked, you know. Box such and such,
yeah,
here's what you need to prove.
Yeah.
If you've checked box such and such, here's what you need to prove. So it all lists out, you know, the sections that you need to prove in the land use ordinance.
yeah,
So they can look at the front, they can check off what it is.
Yeah.
And then they can go to the back and they can go, okay, so I know I've gotta go through and it's a thing that we can use too. So when they come into the office,
right,
we can give them the form and say, these are the criteria that you can choose from
right,
for an appeal. And on the back, here are the criteria that you need to prove under that selection.
yes.
So,
And then I would still like that intermediate step that we don't have, where we see the documents, you know, that somebody's applied for a variance, and we say, you know, okay, it's complete or it's not. Because we have the authority to do that, and most of the time when it comes in, it's not complete. And now we're scrambling with them and accommodating them when we don't have to, but we're accommodating them to try to fill it in. But if we had like a preview period where we could say, you gotta add more here, you gotta add more there. Or, you know, it's, the application is incomplete, that would be helpful.
I like that idea, to be honest.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
What would that, what would, what?
So I have to try to figure out, is that something we have to do as a board in a public meeting? So that it would require two meetings, one where we review the documents and we say, are these complete? And the applicant doesn't have to show up. It's just a public meeting where we review it. Or is there some way where we can, and I don't know the answer yet, so I'll have to find out what other towns are doing. They must be able to, I mean, you guys must be able to take a look at it
Well, I
too.
wonder, I mean, I know for the planning board, I send the applications out,
Yeah,
same with you guys digitally.
Yep.
2 weeks ahead when I
Yep.
get them. And I BCC all of them so that they can't see each other, and if there's something that they need or questions that they have, they often reply to me to say, hey, I don't see,
and then you go back to the,
and then I can go
Applicant.
back to the applicant.
okay,
And that means that we're not having, as far as I understand it, and I'm
Yeah.
very new at all this, that because we're not having a discussion and the other board members aren't involved.
yes,
Um,
the public meeting
and
requirements are.
it's just about administrative things.
Yes,
That is allowable.
Okay.
And because it's not with the full board, there's no
yes,
concern over discourse
yes, okay.
happening, about it, so.
I think that's great.
I
It
think
sounds
that
like
could be
a,
way that we don't have to notice 2 meetings
right,
and we could still
Right.
keep it
right.
concise. The question would be how long would you need to see the application
Yes,
to review it and make sure that it's complete and also give the applicant time before the meeting? Because I want to make sure that we put the deadlines for the applicant
sure,
well ahead.
okay. And to make that judgment, what has been the experience with the planning board? When they, obviously, the applicant comes before them as well, right? So if they said like, we need a month before or 2 weeks or,
They get theirs 2 weeks before, but we
Okay.
often have applicants come back the next month with things that have come up within the meeting that they want to see.
okay.
Um,
So we
I
could
wouldn't
try a
necessarily-
2 week thing and see how that works.
Okay.
So if this applicant wants to submit a new application for a variance, maybe we could use this as a test run. And make sure we have that, have this 2 weeks, his application 2 weeks before the next meeting.
Mhm.
And go from there.
You know, first of all, I just want to make sure we're not recording. though.
We are,
We're
Yeah.
still in a public meeting.
yeah,
We are, okay.
yeah.
Thanks for that clarification. When I go online,
Mhm.
actually in an area here of the Waldeboro website, town website, where there is a different Board of Appeals variance request application. And you look at it, and it's not as specific as this form that was completed and that we were discussing. Because this clearly, this application for a variance is non-shoreline areas.
So maybe
that
take a
one-
look at what you got there and see if that's,
Yeah, but this one seems to have like you were stating, it's a more generic form and there seems to be one box that says this is in
I see that.
shoreland, this is not in shoreland.
Mhm.
And, and then it talks about the requirements and it's,
Yeah, take a look at that, Mark, and see if that one is,
Sure, that was the one that you found off from our
yeah,
website?
I just went into the website.
thanks,
Okay.
Cindy.
It's,
That's great, Liz.
yeah, it was, Home Department's Planning Code.
Yeah.
And then there are applications and fees, and then the second one down, I'll keep it open here, you can take a look at it. Board of Appeals variance application, right?
Yeah, we used to the best of my knowledge, Max used to have two forms that used to get filled out. And I have no idea what he had for this form versus that form,
Yeah.
other than the way he explained it was, one form was more geared towards if somebody was appealing my judgment on
Right.
a permit issue.
Yep, that's the appeal.
Versus the other one, the administrative, the other appeal, which is.
Variance.
A variance.
Right, so you got appeals and variances.
Correct.
Yep.
And that's what I thought the two forms were, or that's what Max had explained that.
Okay,
But I'm wondering, should we keep the two forms separate?
yeah,
Well,
the definitely the appeal should be separate form from the variance, and,
Okay.
and we need to work on the appeal because. Did you settle the case with? Or we-
I don't know yet. We had a meeting today.
Okay. All right, well,
The-
we'll wait and see. We're gonna close this hearing and we've agreed. I think that if they want to talk about this in March,
Yeah.
we can talk about it
Yep.
then. Okay. Yeah, so we should have walk them through some more. You know, for example, well, I'm not gonna talk about it because we don't know where he is yet, but.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to say, all right, what section are you appealing under? What exactly did the planning board or the code enforcement officer do wrong? All that, which ties right into the ordinance
Yes,
and. And that would walk them through it, know what we're looking for, what we need in order to do our job and, you know, within our authority
Right.
and not be out here somewhere in space trying
Yeah.
to just listen. to
so, but another question, I don't want to keep you here all night, but. When I develop these forms, do you find any conflict if I was to send them to the board to see what you guys?
No, I think you should.
Okay,
No, no,
because I can tweak stuff and make it to your satisfaction.
yeah.
So that we're getting the proper information for you guys to do what you do.
Yeah, that's the whole,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any
So-
conflict
Yeah, no, I
there.
don't
No,
actually
because I
think
mean, that's not really
That's a
having,
good idea.
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, that's not having a meeting outside a meeting when we're talking about a form, correct? Because we're not talking about,
We can discuss administrative matters like meeting scheduling. I think forms fall into that.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, I just wanted to make sure we
no,
were,
I think
turning on
forms are
tonight.
okay. Yeah, good question though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. It's very helpful for me.
Okay. Great, well, thank you all. See you next month. Not you, you're be up in Italy?
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Maybe the crowds will be gone.
What?
Maybe the crowds will be gone.
Oh, it's,